We all love a legendary comeback, and Degree Original Cool Rush is back and better than ever. Cool Rush isn't just a scent, it's a movement, a fan favorite that delivers bold, fresh vibes and all-day sweat protection. Whether you have a man that spends hours in the gym, heads into the office early, or is just trying to stay fresh on a long day, Cool Rush has their back. Head to your local Walmart or Target and grab Degree Cool Rush, the fan favorite scent from the world's #1 antiperspirant brand.
A message from McAfee. Wondering why the post office is texting you or why you owe thousands of dollars in toll fees? Because someone's trying to scam you. The good news? McAfee can help. With McAfee's award-winning scam detection, it's easy to tell what's real and what's fake over text, in your inbox, and online. If they're
You want a free gift.
Seriously? If they're faking it, they're not making it past us. Get award-winning scam detection today. McAfee.com/keepitreal.
Hi, this is Kanika Gupta, founder and host of That's Total Mom Sense.
I'm Stephanie Dua, president and co-founder of HOMER.
And this is At Home
with HOMER. HOMER is the essential early learning program for kids aged 2 to 8. We have the most comprehensive app available for early learning skills that you can find on iOS or Google Play. And you can also find our really fun Explore kits that help kids with their math, their reading, and social emotional learning that you can find on our website, learnwithhomer.com.
On this weekly segment, we're going to cover a range of topics from raising confident readers to developing emotional intelligence.
These are the skills that will carry your child through school and life and resonate most when taught at home by you, their most important teacher.
So grab a notepad, your phone, or your mental notebook to remember the tips shared during the segment. And now on to At Home with Homer. Homer! Today's segment is Raising a Reader. So reading for me has been one of my most favorite pastimes, and I really want my children to enjoy it too. But it can get kind of scary to basically inculcate this love of reading. Homer's reading program is proven to increase early learning scores by 74%.
Well, the origin story really is I was working as the CEO of the Fund for Public Schools in New York City, working with 1.1 million schools. It's the largest school district in the country. And my own daughter, who was in kindergarten at the time, was really struggling with reading. And she came to me and she said, "Mommy, help me learn to read." And so I had access to the greatest minds in education, and no one could recommend a product that they trusted. So I said to Anya, "Let's create one." And so we did.
Amazing. Amazing. So what advice do you have for parents to create a love of reading?
Yeah, it's a great question, Kanika. And really creating a love of reading is creating a love of learning. So it's really, really important. Reading is the foundation of a strong education. But what most parents don't know is it's not intuitive or natural. Math is actually more natural for a child, but reading is really not intuitive. The second thing most parents don't know is that if you're not reading at grade level, deemed a proficient reader by grade 4, it becomes really hard to catch up, because by grade 4, you move from learning to read to reading to learn. And that's this really important milestone, which is why getting started early is so important. I like to say that there are 3 things parents should be thinking about in terms of creating a love of reading and therefore a love of learning. 1 is make your home a reading-rich environment. 2 is create a reading routine. And 3 is make reading social. Let's go back to the first one, really creating a reading-rich environment. What does that mean? There are a lot of things, simple things you can do. Subtitles on TV shows. Literally just leaving books all around the house so kids can pick them up even before they can read. And then leading by example. I know us moms, we have no time, but when we can, sitting with our child and having and reading the newspaper or reading a magazine or reading a book ourselves really models that experience. The second thing is really creating a reading routine. Kids love routines. They love things that are predictable. The most common reading routine is a bedtime story. And what most parents don't know is how important that time is. It's not only just a social time, but it's also creating great modeling, and it's also helping to build that love of learning. And it's really proven 20 minutes a day, that's all it takes. 20 minutes a day of reading is really proven to develop literacy skills and create that parent bond. The last thing I'd say is, thinking about libraries are a really important part of our community, and they're just a great place where kids can build that love of reading. They can explore books that they've never seen before. And it's really also helping us teach children, I believe, that we don't have to purchase everything. You don't have to go to Amazon and get everything. We can go and as part of a community, we can participate in our library. And then finally, make reading social. Reading is such a social activity. It can be. It's kind of like a mini book club. You can create a little book exchange with your weekly play date. Each week, your child picks out one book to give to their playmates, and they borrow it for the week, and then they return it. And that makes it a very social experience for kids, which makes it so much fun.
Oh, I completely agree. That's so great. I love these tips. My family and I love going to the library. And even though the restrictions are still in place, you can do very easy a drop off or a pickup. And they get so excited when we pick up new books for them.
And there's even story hour there you can join, and they can just relax and sit and have a story told to them.
Yes. I did have a question. So with, younger kids that haven't quite learned phonics and how to string together letters into words, I found that my daughter and my younger son did this all the time. They would memorize books. Mm-hmm. So whether it was Brown Bear, or The Very Hungry Caterpillar, they could read it cover to cover, know when to turn the page. They just knew it verbatim. Is that a good thing?
It's definitely not a bad thing. I think kids just learning to, even before they memorize it, even just saying their own story is part of reading. We shouldn't define reading as only being able to decode the words on the page and say them fluently. Really just building that muscle early on builds the enjoyment of reading, even as I said, as they're saying their own story. I think the one thing you have to watch out for with memorization is memorization later when they're in more like third grade. If they're memorizing their words on a spelling test versus learning to sound them out, that can be more problematic for a child as they get to more sophisticated words.
Great advice. Thank you.
We hope you enjoyed this week's At Home with Homer segment. To download the app, visit learnwithhomer.com/momsense, MOMSENSE, to receive your very own 60-day free trial. Your kids are going to love playing the games, watching the visual stories, and more. Now, back to the interview.